Hi TaraGolden, Lisa Murray here. I wanted to reply to your video, Why Walk a Thousand Miles? And there were some interesting points brought up in there and some even more interesting posts, comments. I don't know. I mean, it's like I'm enlightened and then I'm depressed. I'm enlightened, I'm depressed. So this is a couple things I wanted to talk about. I have been pursuing my career as a filmmaker, and along my path, I've met a lot of other people that are pursuing something bigger than them, something out of the norm, and there's something that we all have in common. And it's funny because we're also very, very different in our approach and the way that we look at the world and our religious beliefs and everything else. But in order to pursue something that is so big and it's so off the beaten path, there are certain things that everybody does have in common. And some of those things were addressed in your video, so I wanted to talk about it. Um, when the interviewer asked him, um, when did he decide to do this? And he said that he didn't really feel like he had a choice. That's one thing I can tell you that all the dreamers have in common, is that it's almost like the dream has you. It's like it's something. It's not. It's larger than just saying it's something I want to do. It's like you have to do it, and if you don't do it, you'll feel agitated and anxious, and it's like you have to do it. You have to sort of, I guess, be in the situation to understand that feeling, but you just have to do it. And then the interview also said that, why would anybody walk a thousand miles for no reason? And that it's not for no reason. It's just a reason that we don't know of yet. And if you look back throughout history of all the people that have done things that at the time people thought were crazy, it's only in retrospect that we can truly see what that it was that they had contributed just to mankind. We can't always, all of us can't see it, because sometimes you're the messenger of this message. You're the conduit that's going to come in, whether it's through art, whether it's through an invention, whether it's through a peace walk, a pilgrimage of some sort, any type of thing like that. You are the conduit of that. So you're going to understand it before anybody else understands it. So if you don't understand it yet, most people won't understand it yet either, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to walk with faith, because there is a reason. It's just not up here yet. We don't have a place to put it, so it doesn't make mental sense yet, but it will eventually, especially if it's coming from a good place. It's coming from your heart, and it really is, with good intentions. It will affect people, and in looking back, we'll be able to see in what way. Why rely on faith? Um, well, it's the whole, if you build it, they will come. Just like I was just saying, it's not like everybody can, if everybody can't see what you're doing, then you have to rely on faith, because you're, like, for instance, a filmmaker that has an idea for a film. I wonder who that might be. And, they're trying to get funding, and certain people will offer funding if it's a certain way. But let's just say the filmmaker is me, for instance. And I don't want to necessarily sell out the vision of what the movie is. Otherwise, I don't even want to make it. What's the point? So it's hard to sell something that isn't seen yet. And so there is a lot of faith when people, and this is true for all businesses, anybody that invests in a business, they're totally just believing in the person who's heading up the project. It's a faith thing, like based on a past relationship of trust and past works and whatever else. So the woman that wrote the book that inspired him, the interviewer had asked, well, did she know anybody and how'd she do it? And he said, well, sometimes she did and sometimes she didn't. And that's true. It's like you can't wait till every single person, until the path is perfect and every single person along the path knows exactly about it and has signed a contract that said, I will let you stay in my guest room for this date to that date. And it's like, that's not how it works. It's like she's on a peace pilgrimage. She's walking. She's just connecting with people and talking to people. So it's not going to be something that you're going to have concrete a concrete plan for. And nor should you. I mean, nor should anybody that's doing something that's from the heart. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're then taking it out of the heart and putting it into the head. And then the head is going to want to control it and have every detail figured out. And you can't do that. One person, I can't see how one person would make a difference, because maybe if there were millions of people walking, but why one person? Um, Millions of people can affect people too, like the Million Man March and different things like that. But there was one person that thought of that idea, and there was one person that made sure that idea came to fruition. One person does a lot, and because you're taking those one person moments and you're multiplying them by millions. So it's endless. It's not just one person. One person starts it, but where it ends up is infinite. It's far more than having a million people on a pilgrimage. Imagine it's infinite, billions and billions and unknown, because it's future generations, and it's crazy. It far exceeds any kind of logic. Why would one person walking, well, how could you ever be as audacious as to say that you would then be working towards world peace? Well, world peace begins with individual peace. And if we can have peace with the people that are in our lives, and the people in our lives that we have problems with, which I'm having problems with some people right now, which doesn't make me feel very good, because I don't like it. I don't like not having peace, because then it's almost like if I can't figure out a solution where we can both respect each other, then how do I expect nations to do it? How do I expect people with different languages and different religions and different cultures? So individual peace is crucial to world peace. It's absolutely crucial. I just saw an interview with Madonna yesterday, and she was saying that, marriage is sort of like a microcosm of ultimately world peace, because if you can find that peace with your partner, with one other human being, and it's based on truth and respect, then world peace is possible. So maybe it's more about making it a possibility. The final thing is, when she said, well, I think maybe she's crazy. The interviewer said that maybe the person that wrote this book is crazy. What is crazy? I mean, define crazy. Crazy is really something that isn't part of the norm, right? Well, most of the inventions that we see, like even this computer, the fact that I am talking into a camera and you're somewhere else, somewhere on the other side of the world watching me, that started from a person who everybody thought was crazy. Trust me. Every single time we move forward as a species, it's because somebody who was outside of the norm saw something bigger, saw something else, and went for it and did something and pushed themselves forward. And because of that, we all benefit. And we don't even think about it. As soon as it comes out on the market or whatever, we just absorb it into our lives and we go, oh yeah, I've got my laptop and my PDA, and I've got my Xbox, and it's like navigational system in my car. Nobody thinks about how weird that is. The car, that was an invention. The airplane, electricity, somebody believed in that and fought for that, and everyone thought he was crazy. So if you want to call it crazy, that's fine. I don't personally like that. I like to say, they must be connecting to something that we don't understand or whatever. That doesn't mean they're crazy. I don't like that, because that's just destined to set the person out, cast them out. And it's like, I don't understand that. It's like we cast these people out of our, I don't know, whatever, societies. And then as soon as the invention is great, we lift them up on a pedestal. So if something great were to happen out of this situation, like with Gandhi or Mother Teresa, we can then all of a sudden lift them up so high that they're beyond us. Like the average person couldn't possibly be as great as Mother Teresa. Maybe that's true, but I don't believe that, because the minute we say that, the minute we acknowledge that, we're then saying, I can't be great. I'm mediocre, and I'm never going to do anything wonderful. I'm never going to do anything incredible, and I'm just going to settle for that. I think that's horrible. That's not good. And that's not, I don't think, what Mother Teresa would want people to take away from what she did. And all the great teachers of all time, Buddha and Jesus and Mother Teresa and everybody have always said, you have this power within you as well. Every single person can go on their own journey and their own pilgrimage to find their own, I call it sky life, like the life that is the life that you just imagine, the life that's in your heart, the life that makes you happy. And if more people did that, maybe there would be world peace, because that's what it is. If everybody were just happy, and it's like all this stuff is just, all this strife is really just justifying your lack of happiness, because you're trying to plug it in somewhere and attack somebody, and like, that's the reason why I'm unhappy. Because there's weirdos like this guy walking 1,000 miles, and that's just crap. He's not hurting you. He's not coming to your house and knocking on your door. He's not ruining your life. He's walking 1,000 miles for whatever reason. It's inside of him, and he's on a pilgrimage. And the peace that's going to come from that is coming from his journey and from where he's going with it. And where else and however else it ripples out is to be seen. And the fact that a film is being made about it, it takes that experience that if you were not on his path of where he was walking, you can sit in the comfort of a movie theater in your hometown and learn still what it was that journey was all about. And so I think it's wonderful. I'm totally looking forward to seeing this movie. And I applaud anybody that goes out and goes on a journey that seeks peace and enlightenment, to enlighten themselves and then to be open and enlighten others. So I am all for it. Thank you so much, and keep the good stuff coming. And congratulations on being featured. I think that's awesome.